Howdy YouTube, Darlington Farm here, just over here in the wood shop getting ready to do some finishing, and thought I would show you what I'm up to here. I have my Apollo 1050 VR here, all set up and ready to go, and I'm going to be spraying on some General Finishes Pre-Cat Urethane. This is the first time I have used a finish like this. Most of the time I generally will use lacquer, so this is kind of my first use of a pre-catalyzed finish, and I'm kind of anxious to see how this does. I have my cabinet here all set up. This is going in a bathroom, so I want a really durable finish that you can scrub and you can splash water on and not have any problems. So this should be it. This is a waterborne finish, which is really nice, where you don't have to use solvent. You can just use soap and water to clean it up, which I'm also excited to try. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and spray some finish on here. This is the gun that I got with my Apollo there. I got this setup used, and it came with a bunch of different tips here. I've got the 2.5mm, which is awesome. You can just spray PVA, drywall primer, unthin the latex paint, just put in a little Floetrol, and it does a beautiful job. Spraying on just plain latex, completely unthinned. I just put in a little bit of, again, Floetrol, which is a retarder, I guess I should say. It just kind of makes it flow out a little better if it's warm. I've got two pots with it here. I've got the, you know, the siphon pot and then a gravity feed. They make different sizes. I'd like to get one of the smaller gravity feeds for this. This one's kind of big, but I'd like to get one of the smaller ones. And then I've got some other nozzles. I've got the 1.3mm, which I think is meant for spraying on like stains and things like that. And then I have the 1.8mm currently in the gun. Oh, also there are different size. Whoa, there are different size air cups too. The D right there, D cup is what I use for spraying on latex. Does a beautiful job with that. And then I have currently in it a B cup, yes, funny joke, B cup high solid air cap there, or air cup, I forget which they're called. I've heard them called air cups and air caps. But yeah, I've got that set up in the gun. It comes with a really nice gun. Yeah, really good spray gun. You can also right there hook it up to a traditional air compressor should you choose. And it's really a high quality gun. This is definitely the nicest gun I have ever used. You can adjust the pattern right here, and yeah, you get miscellaneous odds and ends tools to change it with. And the heart of, again, the 1050 VR here is this bad boy right here. This is the turbine, and I've shown it in a couple of my other videos, but not actually showing you using it, so I'm going to put the camera on the tripod here and let you see how it works. It is pretty slick. You got two monstrous air cleaners here on the front and back. Yeah, I got a little too close to it with some drywall primer there when I wasn't paying attention. Big air cleaner on the back there. Now this is a 5-stage one, so you can run all the way from 1 psi at its lowest setting all the way up to 9 psi. There we go, and you can turn that sucker all the way up. And it's, you know, infinitely variable in between, which is really nice, where when you're painting you can just kind of play with the pressure and get just enough pressure to the point where you don't get any overspray. You can really dial it in really close to where you get just next to no overspray. Like, you don't have to, oh, you know, like when you're painting a wall, all you have to use is one of those shields, or like a drywall trowel, and you can just use that. You don't have to tape, which is really nice. And I'm hoping that I can turn it down enough to where I don't get any overspray, because as you can see here, I don't have a spray booth. Most of the time I just use a you know, brush on finish, so this will be my first use out here for a spraying finish. I think once I get some of this crap for the Oak Street house out of here, like the refrigerator, the doors, all the trim for the Oak Street house is stacked back there, I may build a little spray booth in this corner and have a couple of you know, furnace filters and a big fan to try and minimize the amount of spray or overspray I have. But for now, I'm just going to try and see how this does, because I need to get this out of here. Now, This finish here, actually I bought it from Woodcraft, not Woodcraft Woodworking, but Woodcraft Furniture in Brownsburg, Indiana. They're a dealer for the general finish here. They're really knowledgeable. If you actually go in and talk to them, the guy that does the finishing for their company, I was able to talk to and kind of get a much better impression of how this stuff works, rather than just reading some forums or looking on their website. So I think pretty much the way to do this is use about 4 to 5 coats and do a really light coat, and then scuff in between with some 400-450 grit paper. So that's kind of how I think the best way to do this is. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put the camera on a tripod here and get painting. Okay, so I've got my third coat on here, and I am really liking the way this is looking. It looks really good. The first 2 coats I wasn't all that happy with. I used a larger diameter nozzle, which is actually the one that is recommended in the manual for my HVLP here. I switched to a smaller nozzle, which is actually what the guy, or what the person at the store where I bought my urethane here recommended, and it looks a lot better. I am really just thrilled. I don't know if you can see that or not. This actually looks just like, pre-finished plywood here. This is like the shelf for the inside here, and this door looks really good. I think this is the first time I have ever done a finishing job and actually been really pleased with the result. I think I'm going to go one more coat on this and then declare victory. It turned out really nice here. I'm really pleased with the way it's turned out. It looks really good. But again, yeah, here's the 1050 VR there, and yeah, I switched from the 1.8 millimeter nozzle, or tip rather, or orifice, or whatever you call it. There you go, 1.8 millimeter, and to the 1.3 millimeter, and that made a big difference. Now, also on the 1.8, I tried using pressure in the cup here, which this feeds air from the gun to the cup, and I tried with and without. I wasn't happy with either one. When I did not use the pressure there, I got a really fine mist and almost no material coming out. With it, it was way too blotchy, and kind of big, a mixture of small droplets and big droplets. And but as soon as I switched to the smaller tip there, it made all the difference. Really nice, even pattern, really just gorgeous. Or really, nicely, or it flowed out really nicely and just looks really good. Really pleased.